All right, today I want to talk to you about setting yourself up for your best summer ever. If you are serious about enjoying your summer more, about having more time and presence for what gives you joy, for what would help rejuvenate you, for being with your family at the lake, or even when you're in the office to enjoy it more. Because I am a very ambitious, driven person who absolutely loves summer. For years, even when I was still in my corporate career, we spend a lot of time at the lake in the summer. It is my favorite season of the year. And I am even extra intentional about setting myself up to have those great summers, knowing it's not going to be perfect and unexpected things will still happen. But when you can be more intentional upfront to ask yourself some questions that I'm going to pose to you today on what would your best summer look like can help to set you up for it now. Because when we're not intentional with our time and our day and our month or our summer, we end up doing things we don't really want to do or just getting by each day and not really enjoying it or making the most out of it. So if you're someone who loves your summers, or maybe you just want to enjoy those that week or two off that you have more and set yourself up for success, you will get something from today. And so even with my corporate career, I used to take every Friday off, and we would go to the lake every weekend in the summer, unless we had some other thing going on. But most of the time we were at the lake. And the interesting thing, when I would take the Fridays off, and also we would take a bigger chunk in the summer too, as well. But I also took every Friday off. I still got as much done. Because the thing is, and this ties a lot with balance and boundaries, and I talk about this in my book, Your Balanced and Bold Life, Work Less, Live More, and Be Your Best, which is available now. When we have some boundaries with our time, not only do we give ourselves space and time for other things that are important to us, you are more focused with your time and attention when you are at work, when you are getting things done. Because we tend to waste some time when we don't have those boundaries or constraints. So you will make better decisions with how you use your time, and you will be more focused with it, knowing you have that reward of taking that time, extra time off as well. So I used to take 2-3 weeks off every summer, take every Friday off when I was in my corporate career. And now with my business, we actually move out to the lake for the summer for a good stretch and live out there. And I slow down business quite a bit. I still, I take a full 2 weeks off, and then I might do a little bit in the mornings, but the majority of the day is beach time and fun time and relaxation time. And it's an interesting thing is I still tend to get, when I am working out there, I get more done because I am really focused in that time that I am working, knowing again, I have the rest of the day for more fun things. So that is, it's really important to me. It's time with my family and friends, and really fills my soul. I love being there. And so I'm going to pose to you, first off, why is summer important to you, or this upcoming summer? Why, when you think of having your best summer ever, why is this important to you? And that can be different. It could be because you want to have fun with your friends and family. It could be because you're feeling burnt out and you need some time to recharge and disconnect from work. It might be you have some important events coming up this summer. It's going to be different for different people. Maybe it's just having a bit of a slower pace. So why is this important to you? Now, I'm going to ask you some questions throughout this. Just feel free to pause this if you want to write that down. I invite you, encourage you to actually answer that question and write it down for yourself. Why is your best summer ever important to you? Okay. So some common challenges that people tend to have when they're booking their vacation or wanting to take some time off in the summer is our team is short on resources. It's more stressful if I disconnect. I have too much to do, no time, can't take the time off. I don't know what I want to do with my time off. And, this happened a lot with COVID and stuff, but not maybe so much anymore, but we can't do what we really want to do. So I might as well not take the time. And I want to offer you that while those can be challenges, they can also be excuses. Work's really busy, or we got a big project, and we got this and we got that. Well, the thing is there's probably always something. There's always something going on if you're honest with yourself and look around. And, that might not be the case. This truly might be a unique situation. But a lot of the time, these are the stories we tell ourselves, which are oftentimes excuses that keep us from doing what you really do, truly do want to do. So I want to invite you to just set those challenges aside, set your excuses aside for a moment, and just open yourself up to, well, what would it look like if I did do this for myself? But a few things to keep in mind that can help you feel empowered to take this time for you, whether again it's vacation or Fridays off or leaving work early some days, whatever it looks like for you, or just enjoying your weekends, whatever it is. Your happiness and well-being, it drives your performance. It has a big influence on how well you do. And when we feel better, we perform better. So giving yourself the space and time, especially if you feel like you need a break, I shouldn't say especially, give yourself this time regardless. But sometimes, if you already know deep inside you need a break, that's telling you something. And being able to honor that and take this time for yourself, that is going to help you perform better. It's going to help you lead stronger in your role. And that's one thing is I always, when I take more time off in the summer, I have no doubt that that is a big contributing factor for my performance when I am at work or, in the fall, because I've given myself that space and time that I want. Having a vacation or time that you enjoy, having something on your calendar gives you something to look forward to. There's psychology around this. It can help you be more present in your day and feel better knowing that something's on the calendar, that you have this break, you have something to look forward to. So put on your calendar that break, put on what it is you want, and just give yourself permission to go for it. It's your time to recharge and rejuvenate. We all need space and time, some downtime from our work, some time to enjoy a different pace, enjoy a different routine, and to recharge ourselves. And so instead of thinking of your summer vacation as like another thing on your to-do list, or I don't know if I can take this time, really look at like this can help you rejuvenate and help you get back to feeling the way you want to do. Now, that doesn't mean a vacation is going to fix everything, but it is giving yourself that space, knowing that that is important for your performance and your well-being and your happiness for sure. If you disconnect from work and take your vacation time, it shows trust in your team. It shows trust in your peers. One trap that professionals, leaders can get into is they might have vacation, but then they're still checking in, they're still checking their email, they're still following up with people, and you're not really taking your break. You're not really showing the trust in the people that are there to handle things and make decisions. And I mean, you could still, depending on your role, be there if there is an emergency, but oftentimes there aren't emergencies. And so by stepping out of it, it shows that you trust your team and others to handle things. And you also lead by example. By you making your personal time, your family time, your vacation time, your weekend time, whatever it is for you, a priority. And doing that, you give permission for others to do that as well. And especially if you lead a team, if they see you working all the time, oftentimes they might feel hard disconnecting themselves or feel guilty for doing it. So lead by example, be that example for others on what a healthier balance in life looks like. And that it's important, it's very important to give yourself space and time for your family and your personal time as well. Disconnecting, and I'm emphasizing on the disconnecting from work piece because a lot of times that can get in the way of having the best summer ever or taking vacations. Like, we're too busy at work, I can't step away from it. Or even maybe if you do take that break, you're so burned out and stressed is that you don't really enjoy your time. By giving yourself permission to take time, you can be more present in the everyday moments and experience more joy in the moment. And this is something, just last weekend I was going to our daughter's convocation in Vancouver. When it happened is when it was on our schedule. So it was right in the middle of some, bigger things going on with work, and it felt hard to disconnect at first. It was like, maybe I still check in, or maybe I get, while I'm on the airplane ride, I can get these things taken care of. And I practice what I preach, and I had to step back and just decide, no, I'm not going to do that. Work can wait. And when you can just let that go, you can be more present with what you are doing, talking to the person beside you or your partner, or hanging out with your kids, or just enjoying the sunrise, whatever it might be. You can be more present when you give yourself permission to disconnect and let go. We already talked about, you set a great example for others. And it's also checking your ego a bit. Things can go on without you. They can. We think we have to be there, and I did this too, and I did it in my corporate role. It's like, I have to be involved. What is going to happen if I'm not there? It's like, things can go on without you. And this again ties with showing trust in others, and doing that, or things can wait. A lot of times things aren't like critically urgent, and so things can wait until you get back. And we're going to talk about some things that can help set you up for that, but just recognizing that, this is important. This is time. If you already have a planned vacation, if you want to put some time in your calendar, but you feel you can't do it, like, this is important for your performance, your leadership, your well-being, your time with your family, for yourself to recharge, rejuvenate, enjoy yourself. So give yourself permission for that. Okay. And then the final kind of point I want to reiterate before we go into some of the questions that I want to pose for you to figure out what your best summer ever looks like is, if you have vacation, if you have time off, like, summer's a short season. And so enjoy it and give yourself space for it. It is your time to do that. And to do this, it also means accepting that some people might not like your choices. Someone might not like that you're saying, hey, I'm going to be gone for the next 2 weeks and I'm not going to be checking in. And you can communicate that. You can work that out with them in advance, but just understand that that might happen. But this is your life. This is you making choices that are right for you. And kind of a deeper guiding, my guiding post, a deeper guiding principle that can do it is like, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You don't know if this is your last summer spending it with someone you love. You just don't know. And so start to be more present with what you're doing now, instead of putting off these things that you really want for yourself. So how can you set yourself up for your best summer ever? So this is something that I do. I think about each year. I think about even next summer what I want to do to guide my choices now. But we want to work from your desired end in mind. And that will give you more joy, more fun, more ease in what you're doing. And so what I mean by that is, we want to kind of step back a bit and not just be like, what do I want to do for a vacation? It's like, actually go like, that would make my summer great. What are the pictures that I want to have on my camera? What do I want to do? What gives me joy? And then going, okay, what choices do I need to make today to help set me up for that? And so we're always going to work from your desired end in mind. Now I'm going to ask you some questions to figure out what your best summer ever would look like. That can then help guide your choices. That's going to help you work from your desired end in mind. Now, 2 expectation setting things. Planning your best summer ever. It can be whatever stage of life you're in. Like, if I was truly planning my most epic summer, it might not fit with the reality of, my situation right now. I might be, I want to do this, I want to do this with my kids, and they absolutely love being there. Well, they're teens and they're not as pumped to be at the lake like they usually are. So my best summer ever would be that they are bouncing off the walls and they can't wait to get to the lake. Well, that's not my reality right now. But on the same note is that doesn't mean that you can't still plan what that summer would look like, and stretch yourself with it, because we think sometimes that we're resigned to our circumstances when you actually have a lot more opportunity than you think. So as I go through these questions, I want you to pause in between, answer them for yourself, and then you can keep going. For a moment, just let go of the worries, let go of what you think you can or cannot do, strip away the pressure for now, and then open yourself to answer these questions. So imagine it is September 1st, 2024, and you are looking back on your summer, and you're like, wow, that was a great summer. Vividly imagine what that summer looked like. What did you do? Who did you spend your time with? What did you not do? How did you feel? When you're looking back at your camera roll, what photos did you snap? What special moments did you capture? Okay, take a moment and just write out whatever comes to mind for you. And again, you're looking back. You were looking back and you're like, that was a really great summer. So what happened? What did that look like? What did that feel like? Write it down. So pause that if you need, take as much time as you want, and then come back to these questions. What gives you joy, ease, or fun experience? What are the things that give you joy, give you fun, give you ease, experience you really want? What is that? What does not give you joy or is really stressful for you? Who do you want to spend your time with? Who do you not want to spend your time? That's an okay question to ask yourself and be honest with yourself. What would make it a really great summer for you? Where you're looking back and you're like, yeah, that was awesome. What would make it that for you? What would make it not a great summer for you? How do you want to feel? What do you need to feel and experience what it is you want? What does your best summer look like and feel like for you? Write it out in present tense. This is key. I am spending 2 weeks at the cabin. I am going to local city events on the weekends. Write it in present tense. Who you're with, what you're doing, what experiences give you joy. Write out whatever comes to mind for you. Okay? So with that vision, what would your future self come back and tell you to do now, today? Would it be to book the time off? Go have the conversation with someone saying, hey, this is the time that I'm going to take off? Would it be booking a place that you want to go to? Would it be taking something off your plate you had this summer that you don't really want to do and it's just going to stress you out? What would it be? What would your future self come back and tell you to do now? And then let that guide your choices. Start to make your decisions now, not just what am I doing next week? It's like, okay, I'm setting myself up. Work from that desired end in mind. If I am creating the summer I want and setting myself up, what would I do today? And let that guide you. A few tips here to help set yourself up for success. So one, with that, you're not going to do everything. I mean, if you can do everything, amazing, awesome. But it doesn't mean that you're going to do everything. But you can start to do more of the things that give you joy, give you ease, give you fun, help rejuvenate you. You know, give yourself permission to do that. But here's some other little tips that you can do to set yourself up for success. So one, carve out your personal time first. If we're always waiting until work isn't too busy or have enough time, you might not get your vacation in there. So give yourself permission to carve out what you want now, have that conversation, book the time off, and give yourself that. Even if you feel guilty, even if you feel it's like not the best time to leave work, go ahead and do that for yourself. And if you really can't, if you go have the conversation and you truly can't leave at the time you want, well, when will you do it? And put that time in there. But carve out your personal time first, because there will always be something else to do. There will be always other things going on. And so until you get serious about protecting your personal time and creating this for it, there's always going to be things that fill it up. Put it on the calendar and block the time. This can be, you know, for your vacation time. It can be your evenings and weekends, but it can even be in your day-to-day if you want some more space to go have a walk outside or do something else during your day. Put it in the calendar and block the time. Protect this time for yourself. Block off time before and after you go on vacation. And this is like a huge game changer for me and saves me. I would have a very hard time if I didn't do this. Even for the weekend, have, you know, the day before you go on vacation or two, or the day or two when you get back from vacation. Or if you want to have your weekends, you know, block your Friday afternoons, your Monday mornings. Give yourself space to get done those last minute things you need to get done, because you know you're going to have to get them done. And even to have the time when you get back, so then you can check your emails and get back up to speed on stuff, because it's easier to let go and enjoy your time away when you know you have that time for you when you get back. If you're going to be on vacation for 2 weeks and then come into meetings first thing that morning when you get back, you're probably going to stress about it a bit before. So block that time. This can be a huge thing to like just feel less stressed and feel more on top of things when you have to leave and when you get back. Communicate the time you're taking off, and communicate your why and expectations with others. Because oftentimes we can set vacation, but we don't tell people like, I'm actually not going to be available for this time, or this is the person that's in charge while I'm away. They can handle the decisions. So there's a little bit of prep to do to set yourself up to be able to take your time away, but let people know what you're up to. Put your out of office on. If you're not going to be available, just let people know that, and that's okay. And then don't respond when they send you that email because you said you weren't going to respond. The thing about boundaries is more about what you are going to do, not what others are going to do. So it's not that they can't send you emails while you're on vacation. It's that you're letting people know, hey, I'm not going to be checking or responding to them. And again, trust your team, let somebody else handle it. Say no more, delegate, and let go, both professionally and personally. We can feel like we have to do all the things, we have to get it all done. And especially like near the end, a very common thing is like feeling pretty stressed before you go on vacation because you're trying to get everything done. You're still trying to get your 3 weeks of work done in 1 week so that you can go away. And so, give yourself permission to say no, take some things off your plate. Just focus on the things that matter most. Let something wait until you get back. Delegate it to someone else. This can both be on work side and our personal lives as well. And I talk about this a lot in the book on keep getting closer to the heart of what really matters and not trying to do all the things. Check in with yourself daily. So when you are in your summer, or this is a good practice any time of the year, but check in with yourself like, hey, am I showing up the way I want? Am I making choices aligned with what that best summer looks like for me? Did I say no to something? Did I say yes to what I wanted to do? And just, am I feeling the way I want? Just check in with yourself daily because that can help you then be more in tune with what you need and stay aligned with what it is you want. And then the final thing is just being present. Enjoy this time. We can often get wrapped up in worries about things, or I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and just give yourself permission to let that go a bit and just be present and enjoy yourself in the present moment, whatever it is you're doing. So give yourself permission to do more of what gives you joy and less of what stresses you out. And this can help guide you as you go through this. And then the final piece that I want to leave you with here is also accepting things might not go the way you want. So every year I do this. Every year I think of what would make it the best summer ever. It drives my decisions when I take on clients, when I wrap up people, when I have meetings, when I don't, what we do with our summer, even sometimes who we have at the cabin and who we don't have. This can guide it, and we can have the best plan, but sometimes life happens and unexpected things happen. In 2021, I did this exercise and having our great summer. And then in August, my mom got seriously sick, and it turned out not being a very great summer, or not a very great August at least. But that's the thing, things will happen, you can't control it. It definitely was better than it would have been had I not brought that intention to things. So I think just understanding that you can have the best plans in the world and sometimes things won't go the way you want. And sometimes they're easier to bounce back, where it's like, oh, I just had a bad day and me and the kids were arguing for the day, and it's one day we'll get back on track the next day or the evening or whatever. Or it might be a bigger thing, like somebody getting really sick. And just knowing that that will happen, and that is life and a part of life, and then you can adjust. And the happiest people, they make the best of their situation, whatever it might be. And so when I still look back at that summer, I don't think it was a terrible summer. I think, it did a lot leading up to that made it a really good summer. And, something else happened with that. Okay. And the final thought that I'm going to leave you with is that this isn't just your summer. This is your life. This is your life. And so if this time is important to you, if you want more time for yourself, to enjoy yourself, to enjoy a slower pace, to spend some time with your family and friends, to enjoy being outside and in nature, give yourself permission for this. This is your life. It's happening right now, not when you retire, not when you get that project done, not when the system is implemented at work. Your life is happening right now. So give yourself permission to enjoy that. So I'm wishing you the best summer ever. I would love to hear in the comments what was your biggest takeaway, and what are you going to commit to do for yourself, what your future self will tell you to come back and do now to set yourself up for success.